So you continue, right, working at it, trying to choose, become more afraid, more focused, more afraid, more focused, until the quality and quantity of your action begins to degrade, right? And as the quality of your action degrades, what happens to the result? It gets worse. As the bad results keep coming in, more afraid, more focused, until you substitute focus for complacency. You have to check out as a protection mechanism. You just check out, you're back on the couch ordering pizza, hoping the girl of your dreams shows up. Over time, this creates this downward trend, right? This depressive trend. And that is what we're fighting against. There's a metaphor that is common amongst all humans across the entire swath of humanity. There's a metaphor that exists in our mythology. In the Western civilization, Judeo-Christian civilization, we would talk about Adam, Eve, and the Garden of Eden. And that myth or metaphor or story is simply reflective of this problem in life. Oh, if only we were back in the good old days when there was no weeds and the grapes crushed themselves into wine, right? But tomorrow will be worse than today. And today is worse than yesterday was, right? This downward depressive trend. That's what we're fighting against. And so this is nothing new, right? These ideas are nothing new. None of the ideas I have are anything new. They're just observations and different ways of talking about things that have been talked about for a long time, right? If only we were back in the Garden of Eden when everything was wonderful, right? But today is worse than yesterday, and tomorrow will be worse than today. This is what we're fighting against, right? So we talked about this alternative trend, a breakthrough trend, right? And we revisit here, we say, when the roller coaster is going up, we become confident, but when we become confident, we become complacent. When the roller coaster is going down, we become afraid, but when we become afraid, we become focused. Out of these four words, what do we want more of?
Become confident.
We want confidence and
Focus.
at the same time, right? We want confidence and focus at the same time. That's the goal. But that's not how our biology works, right? If we want to improve our results over time, instead of have them get worse over time, have them get better over time, right? Where do our results come through, right? Or where do they come from? Breakthrough. This fundamental shift in the quality or quantity of the results that we achieve, right? If we want to improve the results, where do the results come from?
The actions.
Right. So the key here is to focus on our actions, right? The key here is to focus on action 4. Make sure we continue to take action 4. But there's a problem. We can't focus on our actions if we're afraid. So that's the whole conundrum. When we're focused, we're also afraid. So our brain doesn't focus on our actions. When we're confident, we're complacent. So we could focus on our actions, but we don't care enough, right? That's our biology that we're fighting against. So how do we hack those limitations imposed by our biology, by our ego? This is where transcendent purpose creates the breakthrough in us, right? A purpose that is bigger than and outside of you. And we invited you to look at what you're doing and ask, what is the earth-shattering reason that you have to hit that paycheck number? What is the earth-shattering reason that you have to get those 5 things? Did you get a chance to think about that? What are your thoughts? What is the earth-shattering reason that you have to hit that paycheck?
Pay my bills.
Pay your bills, okay. So is paying your bills transcendent? Does it transcend you? Is it bigger than and outside of you?
Yeah, if I can't pay my rent, then I lose my apartment.
But is that bigger than you? Or is that just you?
Well, my husband loses the apartment too, so.
Okay, so that becomes a little bit more transcendent, right? Because that's outside of you. Right? What else? What else commits you to hitting that number?
Tattoos!
Okay. Are tattoos bigger than and outside of you? Or are they you?
They're me.
They're you. We have to find the things that are transcendent, that are motivating us. And we have to keep those things front of mind. And when we are focused on a transcendent purpose, a reason for doing something beyond ourself, right? We override our ego and break through our self-imposed limits. That's the problem. That's the rub. You yourself will give up on you yourself. There's a biological limitation there. You're running into this mud, right? It's like, I know I want to make more money than I need, but I'll do that tomorrow. Any of you guys ever have that happen? I know I want to lose 10 pounds. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I know I want to pay my bills. I know I want to get out of debt. I'll do that tomorrow. I know I want to put money in my savings account. I'll do that tomorrow. I know I want to make that extra $200 this week. I'll do that next week. What is the transcendent purpose that commits you to doing it today?